Hello, and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News Channel. I'm going to do another edition of how to invest $10,000 in crypto, or what I would do. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. But however, a lot of people talk about this. And one thing that basically is common throughout all investing industries is to have a well-diversified portfolio. That's especially true in cryptocurrency because essentially, like, a lot of coins have a big opportunity for gain. And the thing is, if a bull run comes, many of them will gain, and it's hard to pick like the correct one, but you'll get gains out of all of them. The other thing is that with many coins, it's much less likely that they'll all go down. Whereas if you just invest in one coin, no matter which one it is, there's a much higher possibility that that will go down. So it's good to have a well-diversified portfolio. So let's actually talk about like your anchor coin first. If your risk tolerance is high, then you don't really need an anchor coin. But if your risk tolerance is kind of low, then you do need an anchor coin, and the best one is Bitcoin. It's the biggest one. It's generally the most stable one, and it's not going anywhere for a long time. So essentially, if your risk tolerance is lower, buy half of your portfolio in Bitcoin. And basically, you can just cut in half the percentages I mentioned from here on out, because my risk tolerance is a little higher in crypto. I'm in it to make a lot of money. So I don't really need to buy Bitcoin with $10,000. Do I have $10,000 invested? Pretty close right now by the way the crypto is actually growing right now. I'm not going to tell people how much I have of each coin or what I actually have in this video, but this is how I would do it if I actually started off new. So risk tolerance high, no Bitcoin, risk tolerance low. Got to have some Bitcoin because you want to anchor yourself. Very easy. So first of all, like, my favorite coins, you can have your own favorite ones, are VeChain, ICX, and Ethereum, and ADA. So like if you have like a top three coins, and yours could be like XRP, VET, ICX, or Chainlink, ICX, VET, Ethereum, Cardano, whatever. You know, the top three coins in your portfolio, I would say should consist maybe about 60 to 70% of your portfolio. And it should be well spread out among those coins. Like maybe your top coins like 30% and the other two are 20% or something like that. So obviously my top three are going to be VET, ADA, and ICX. So I'm very well diversified in those three coins. So if one of them goes down, I still got the other two. Two of them right now are performing very well right now, ADA and VET. ICX hasn't really done much for a while, but I can live with that. 2 out of 3 is pretty good. And I believe ICX will go up again anyways. So those are like, have your like 3 coins that you're investing most of your money on, and be well diversified in those 3 coins so you're not depending on one of them. Now, with the rest of like the 30 to 40% that you're actually investing, this is assuming that Bitcoin's not 50% of your portfolio. Like I said, if Bitcoin's 50% of your portfolio, just cut everything I say in half. With the rest of it, with the other 30, 40%, let's say you have 60% in those 3 coins and then 40% in others. I would definitely invest a chunk of that 40% in DeFi. Let's say like 13% of that in DeFi projects. And you can go with like Maker, SNX, or if your risk profile is higher, you can go with some of the smaller ones, even something like ANPL, although I personally don't touch ANPL, but if you have a high risk tolerance, maybe invest in that, maybe invest in some of the other smaller DeFi projects as well, if you have a high risk tolerance. Me, myself, I think DeFi is very young, and there's a very big chance that any project goes kaput. So I would actually just put that 13% in either Maker or SNX, or spread it among Maker and SNX. So those would be the 2 I would actually go with for DeFi. Then you have the oracles. Now, this is another risk tolerance thing. If your risk tolerance is low, then I would just put it in Chainlink. Because Chainlink is, Chainlink is hyper pumped right now, but so is every other Oracle coin. So the hyper pumpiness of it doesn't really play into effect, because the entire Oracle thing is hyper pump right now. I do believe it'll retrace at some time, but I don't really know when. If your risk tolerance is low, invest in Chainlink. It's probably the most stable out of the Oracle coins. It's the biggest one, and it has the most partnerships. However, I do think the ROI for the other smaller ones will probably be bigger, because they just have more room to grow as they get more partnerships. And people look at Chainlink, and it kind of pulls the rest of the oracles up with it. And some of the smaller ones tend to boost up more than Chainlink when they actually do pump. That's actually been displayed over the last few days. Chainlink has pumped a lot, but the smaller oracles have pumped even more. So like I said, low risk tolerance Chainlink, high risk tolerance by a combination of like Band, Teller, Zap, or DOS. Or like honestly, even if I had high risk tolerance, I wouldn't go all in on one of them. I would probably spread that the section that you have in oracles among those four. And then with the last 13%, I would invest in small tokens that are not DeFi or oracles. Now, some examples are like, CSC and Kin. I don't really know what's going on with Kin and why it's pumped so much. I'm guessing there's a lot of people that think they're actually going to win the lawsuit. I'm still not willing to say that yet because the SEC rarely loses these things, but I really do hope they win. With CSC, they have a couple of partnerships with KMEG and with Crazy 8. So they're pretty solid in terms of like small tokens. Now, they're not as solid as like some of the bigger projects, but in terms of like small like penny tokens, they're pretty solid, or like really small cap tokens, they're pretty solid. I guess we really shouldn't say like penny stocks. We should just say like small caps in crypto, because realistically, the price of each token in crypto is kind of meaningless. It's actually the total market cap that actually matters. So what some people would refer to as penny stocks should actually just be called low market cap cryptos. And you actually have something like, CSC or Player or Kin or something like that, or your favorites, or your favorite 2 or 3 small market cap cryptos. So that's actually how I would allocate it. If I'm high risk, I would actually just not invest in Bitcoin. If I'm low risk, I would actually take some Bitcoin. And with the rest of it, I would invest 60% of the rest of it in like the top 3 coins, and then space out 13% in each of DeFi, oracles, and small risky coins. So that's just my opinion. Once again, it's not financial advice, but I think that's a good way to space out your coins and have a well-diversified portfolio with a lot of chance for upside for cryptocurrency. So we actually talk about this sometime on the live stream, but that's just really my opinion if I were to start off fresh. Obviously, like I'm diversified in many coins, like BETICX, ADA. Obviously, I also have BAT, have some Ethereum, a little bit of Bitcoin, have Kin, Player. So I have like at least 7 coins or so that I can actually just depend on to actually come back up. So I don't think any of them, maybe besides some of the small ones, could go kaput. But even if one does, I still have the rest to boost me up in a crypto bull run. And I know in a crypto bull run, they'll probably all come up. So I'm going to profit anyway. So there's no reason for me to take that risk and go all in on one coin. So that is my opinion. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe and hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.